we're back. I've just done a really beautiful session with my students on mapping out our 2022, our plan on exactly what we need to do each week to reach our renovation goals for the year. And which is cool because everybody has different ideas about what they'd like to achieve in a year. Some people want to achieve a lot and other people are just happy doing, you know, a few bits and pieces for the year inside their own capacity. January's theme, you know that I do a theme every month, right? So November, December, I think I started back in July or August. So if you wanted to go back and have a look at the YouTube videos, you can under Renovate and Real Estate. Or if you're inside the mums and dads, renovators and decorators group, if that's where you're watching this, go to the guide section and they're all lined up there. So I think renovating tells a story. The process of buying a house and adding value to that house and selling that house. But I also think as part of renovating, we are making our own stories. Like we're getting started at wherever we're at. If you've got lots of investments and you've got lots of money, then you're starting at a different place. If you're brand new to renovating or property investing and you haven't done it before, then you're starting at a different place. But it's all good. We are starting our stories at different places. The most important thing, though, is to start believing that renovating and property investment works. I think that's just the number one thing that needs to occur for you to possibly transition into doing a property if you've never done one before, and certainly transition from doing multiple properties or to doing multiple properties and telling your boss that you're not coming back next Monday and that you're going to be renovating full time and that you know this is what you're going to do for life. There's a transitional period, but the first thing is to actually believe that it works and to believe that there is enough income in it to replace your average everyday income working for a boss. So let's go. Feel free to write comments as you like. Let me know if you're watching the replay, #replay. I know a lot of people save this to watch every Tuesday night when they come home from work. All right, so seeing is believing, guys. Follow successful people and watch what they do. It's that simple. Like just kind of disassemble what you see these people doing. Seeing is believing. And following the right people is so crucial. Not following a whole bunch of people on Instagram who create these perfect houses with no budgetary restraints and all the sponsorship in the world, because the truth is that's not going to be you, at least in the short term. It may be you as you go further along and you build your brand around renovating. If you want to really take this next level, that's what people who work with me do. But if you're just starting, it's not where you're going to start. So you need to be following the right people to get good confidence, to gain the confidence in getting started, and that you'll be able to do it. So follow people who are just like you. Just like you. Follow people that you can relate to, that you'll feel like they're your cultural fit. You just feel relaxed in their presence. You can identify with them. You can identify with the things that they share about their renovation projects or the house that they just missed out on or the conversation they had with a real estate agent, because they're just like you. Follow people with the same kind of background, income, and demographic. It is so important not to compare ourselves with people who are on $350,000 a year if that is not your income. The types of properties they buy, their renovations and their results because of their borrowing capacity is going to be completely different than if you're starting out and you're scraping together a deposit and you're going to be renovating a property in some lower type of demographic somewhere. That's not an issue. But it is an issue if you compare yourself and your results with somebody who's just got an advantage. Let's call it what it is. It's an advantage in the marketplace. So just hang with people that you can relate to, or people who are just a few steps beyond. People who are actually achieving the outcome that you wish to achieve. They're laying the foundations. They're showing it to be true. It makes it easier for you to believe. When you believe and you feel, and your energy is one of positivity, like it's all going to work out fine, then your actions will follow. And follow people who are real, the ones who don't hide the ups and the downs of what happens on site. If somebody has a water tank arrive and it's got a hole in it, or if somebody's had, a bad day with an electrician and whatever, but follow real people who are prepared to tell real stories, not the glossed over stuff that you quite often see on Instagram from people trying to paint an extraordinary picture of their perfect lives. Follow real people achieving extraordinary results and allow yourself to believe that, hey, you're just like them, so your results can be the same. So getting started, guys, I can proudly say that all of the pictures here are my students' projects. Like, my guys are doing some amazing work, but, they're just good, wholesome investors and renovators, ordinary mums and dads. I mean, the name of this group, Mums and Dads, Renovators and Decorators. These people have just decided and committed to take action, just like the morning meeting I had this morning with the students who said, okay, this is what we're going to do in 2022. So social media, be conscious of the groups you're in, guys. Be conscious of where you're hanging out in social media for your inspiration. Don't stay in groups if they make you feel small. Like, if you're in a group and people are bragging about how much money they're making and what they're doing, don't stay there if that group is making you feel small, or making you feel like you should be quiet, or making you feel less than, or making you feel like you need to compete in some kind of way, and it might be really difficult to compete. I mean, these gorgeous photographs here are from Belle magazine. If you're following things like this, understand that when you're renovating a property that you've purchased for around about 300,000, you won't be able to apply these fixtures and fittings to a property like that. So follow people and sites that is in your pocket, that you can relate to, and that you can really kind of copy or emulate, and get the same result. So, I don't want anyone feeling like they won't be good enough. It stops people in their tracks. It leaves them less confident, not more confident. And quite often, if people allow themselves to feel that way, they just won't get the start that they deserve that's available to them. Understand that renovating with a big budget is simple. I really do think that when you've got an unlimited budget, you've got all the money in the world, you've got access to designers or anything else, there's no challenge in that. That's not a challenge. It's like, okay, I'm just going to move out for a few weeks, and all these beautiful humans are going to come into my house and convert it into an amazing residence. And I can just move back in and just say, hey, look at the reno I did. There's no challenge in that. Real people are working flat out, doing like making the most of creating designer looks, but having that challenge of doing it on a budget. So start listening to real people's stories. This is our podcast, guys, More Than Renovating. You will find it, apple.com US podcast, Renovate Real Estate. That's where you'll find us. If you listen to the story of Cindy, Cindy's a beautiful, beautiful lady. She had an injury. She actually had a stroke. Renovating was part of her healing process. It's also something that she knew, even if she wasn't 100% physically able, she knew that she could turn her hand to and still jump in and make a significant income, even though she may not be physically well enough to go and do some other kinds of work. Renovating is something that she could still tackle. So proud of Cindy, such a beautiful lady, a great story. She has a great story. Follow people like her, and also Kirstin. Kirstin spent years trying to save up a deposit. She got a deposit. She bought a place. It wasn't the most ideal place to renovate, but it's all she could afford at the time. Now the market's moved, and she's done lots of beautiful changes to the property, and she's made income. So from scraping together a deposit to moving into a place and doing her renovation, she's in the property market, she's off and racing. So here's Cindy's work here. I mean, inside our group, there are lots of encouragement. Let's say that makes a difference to your ability to believe as well. We love your work, Cindy. Keep kicking goals is just a Facebook message from somebody else. And here's one of Cindy's before and after. It's the kitchen before and after, and the foyer area before and after. Small changes, but make a significant impact on the look and the value of a property. Here's Foong. As you can see, Foong is I shouldn't say just. Foong's just a gorgeous lady. But hey, you know, let's break it down here. Foong grabs properties and she renovates. She does joint ventures with other people. She knows exactly what changes to make to a property. She's got her bit of a signature style going on. She doesn't fuss over colors because she knows what works and works for most properties. And she can create a really nice character home. I think that's her little area of genius. And in the South Australian area, she's doing really, really well. The beauty about Foong is she's a pharmacist. She's not the daughter of a builder, not the daughter of a developer, didn't grow up around a lot of property transactions. Foong is a pharmacist. She's now overtaken her day job, her drug dealing, as she calls it, day job, with renovating full time. Kirstin, these are the changes that she made to her bathroom, guys. Just really simple things. She was, by the time she saved her deposit and bought her townhouse, her budget was so tight, so tight. So she's become the master of doing a really great renovation, saving money where she can. So renewing tiles where need be, painting tiles if possible, painting the vanity cupboard there, doing a new basin and a new top, just not ripping everything out, but just making significant changes where need be. And you can see in the reflection in the mirror there with the shower head and the shower screen. Great work, Kirstin. All right, so Kelly has become quite the master at grabbing homes in and around Brisbane and making all the right changes to those homes. She actually installed a pool in this particular home because she knew the demographic could and would pay significantly higher for a property with a deck and a pool. So all of these renos are done by our guys. Ordinary people doing great renovations, getting really significant results, doing this now full-time, at one point working for a boss, now full-time. These are your peeps. These are great, beautiful human beings, all with the same goals, who aren't above it all, who aren't, posho, high-end interior designers. These are people who grab old properties, who renovate them, who know where to add the value to significantly increase profit margins and sell those properties for more. And Belinda here has just made a determination, like being in our group for a little while, seen how other people have done it. She's a research scientist. She has just quit her job and made, drawn that line in the sand, made a determined, conscious decision to do renovating full time. And she's been working with me now for a few weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, I would say, no more than that. And she was speaking to her first client during the week, and there's another client tucked in my belt for her as well. So off she goes out into the world as a renovation consultant / full-time renovator. So when you're thinking about, your roadmap, making that transition from working for a boss to working for yourself, then think about, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Like, what would you do and what could you do if you just knew that you would never, ever fail? If you know that you're not going to fail, you proceed with just like an open mind and a heart and just a belief that everything's going to be okay, and there's no hesitation, there's no procrastination, there's no doubting yourself or fearing what the future might look like. It's so important to hang with a group of people who are a cultural fit, who are doing the same, because it makes it so real and so achievable. So, hey guys, that's it for this week. That's my Tuesday live. First step to setting out your own path to renovate full-time is to actually believe that renovation and investment works. And how do you believe that it works? by following people who are going to make it real for you, because they're just like you and they're doing it successfully already. You know where to find me if you'd like to book a call, renovateandrealestate.com.au/call. If you want to speak to me directly, you need to hurry. I, throughout this year, won't be taking so many of these calls. So if you've been listening along for a little while and you want to speak to me personally, you need to book ASAP. Just letting you know also, we're running a special training, a free training. Jump inside the Mums and Dads, Renovators and Decorators group if you're not already a member there, and look out for the promos on this free training that is launching on the 15th of January 2022. So why not start your year with a bang? Why not make your year really different to last year by actually doing what you've silently promised yourself you'd love to do? Cheers, guys.